Blizzard's demon-killing, loot-gathering, dungeon-exploring action RPG is releasing in just a few months. The classic series has delivered blood-soaked combat, a wide array of customizable classes, and an enthralling story across a couple of decades of game releases. To get ready for this franchise's next installment, here's 8 details you need to know about Diablo IV. Number 8. Classes. Diablo IV will feature 5 classes of Demon Slayers available to the player. The Barbarian is the brute of the group. They specialize in a wide variety of weapons fit for any demon-killing occasion. Their special moves include war cries for special buffs and ground slams for AoE carnage. The Druid is another familiar class for returning Diablo players. These shapeshifters take on animal forms like bears and wolves to properly deal with hordes of vicious foes. Their elemental powers see them control wind, storm, and earth magic. The Necromancer is the summoner of the group. These shady demon slayers are capable of controlling and calling forth the powers of undead armies to fight in their stead. They tap into the powers of blood, bone, and shadow to further decimate enemies. The Rogue is exactly what it says it is. The nimble and agile assassins are suited for close-quarter fights with daggers or ranged attacks with crossbows. Between powerful combos, poisonous weapons, and shadow magic, there's a variety of ways to build one's rogue. The Sorcerer is the mage of the group. They command the elements of ice, lightning, and fire to rain powerful spells down onto their foes. Sorcerers have a huge arsenal of magical spells to kill any demon in their path. Number 7. Character customization. While a player's chosen class dictates their type of demon killer, they also have lots of options when creating the look for their customizable character. There are currently 4 types of masculine faces and 4 types of feminine ones to start with. Players can choose between 10 unisex hair options like flowy long locks or buzzed sides with a ponytail. Then there's a huge variety of options in jewelry, face paint, tattoos, and makeup. The body type is tied to class, so the masculine and feminine options for each class are set in stone. Number 6. Open world. One huge new change included in this next installment is the world design. Diablo IV now allows players to tackle its worlds in whatever order they choose. Previous Diablo games have seen a linear story that included large open areas, but each zone was encountered in a specific order. That means that everyone experienced the settings of the game in the same order. This is no longer the case. With Diablo IV, the open world areas are also now explorable in an open-ended order. No need to worry about stumbling into an overpowered zone though. The entire world scales with the player's level. The environments of the next installment include sprawling grassy fields, snowy mountains, and dusty deserts to name a few. Players will see some updates to traversal as well, after trailers showed characters jumping across ravines, climbing up cliffs, and soaring across zip lines. Number 5. Lilith. The demonic daughter of Mephisto herself, Lilith returns in Diablo IV. Lilith was first introduced to the series with Diablo II. Players saw her rise to power unfold and battled with the Queen of Succubi in a major boss battle. Blizzard recently released the exciting cinematic By 3 They Come, which showed off the return of the classic villain. After a band of heroes battle their way into a tomb, they become unwilling participants in a brutal summoning. Each of them is killed in the resurrection process. Lilith descends, donning the enormous blood cape, ready to instill terror in the world of Sanctuary. Players will have to face the imposing villain yet again in an epic tale of good versus evil. Number 4. Loot. Looting chests for higher quality gear is the main driving force for depleting enemy forces across the lands of Sanctuary. Diablo has always had a huge emphasis on its loot systems, and this next entry appears to be no different. Blizzard has implemented updates to the system that allow even more customizability for the player. Items can be buffed or modded if the player wants to increase the power of one piece of loot they've become attached to. Furthermore, it's possible to extract legendary power from one item and transfer it into another in an effort to ensure the player has full control over how their character looks and plays. They've also stated the system incorporates smart loot, which means the loot dropped will more often than not actually relate to the player's chosen class. The items range from normal, magic, rare, unique, legendary, set item, and ancient set. There's also new physical attributes tied to different weapons like speed or a block. These are in addition to the prosperities the weapon already has. Number 3. Skills. Skills are the abilities players will utilize to further customize their playstyle of their chosen class. The types of skills include basic, defensive, and ultimate, with unique skill types for each class as well. Diablo IV will have equipment with its own specific skills attached, meaning players can try out new skills by simply equipping that piece of gear. There's also respecking that encourages experimentation early on, while becoming more costly in the late game to emphasize consideration with players' chosen skills. Number 2. Stats. The 4 core stats for the characters in Diablo IV are strength, intelligence, willpower, and dexterity. Stats will be assigned at the beginning according to the class of choice. For example, barbarians have more stats in strength, while rogues have more in dexterity. These serve as stat categories for a host of more specific stats chosen as the player levels up their character. Diablo IV is introducing 3 new stats in the form of angelic power, demonic power, and ancestral power. Angelic power is for increasing the potency of buffs, demonic is the opposite as it empowers debuffs, and ancestral increases the abilities of one-hit effects. And number 1, release date and platforms. Diablo IV is set to release on June 6, 2023. Players can slay demons on any platform across PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series XS, or Windows PC. Let us know down in the comments what class you're most excited to try out when Diablo IV releases this summer. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more content just like this.